Good morning. How the devil are you? How are you today? How's your weekend been so far? Well, you know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 10 a.m. It's time for the famous Foxes Aftermath show, run by the fans, for the fans. And you know what? Your opinion matters. So come on, get those comments in. Come on, let's get going. Come on, boys.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie and Co-Estate Agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Morning all, how the devil are you? I hope you're well, I hope you're good. What a week it's been for football. Not a lot, pal, not a lot from football. No Gray, it's not actually. This top, like in the top, pal, it's not from the City store. It's from a firm called 3 Retro. It's a retro England top from the 70s, 80s. I absolutely love it. But I'm not just going retro. I've got the England top on as well. Ready for tomorrow. Ready for tomorrow. Big World Cup game. Big World Cup. Big World Cup. Morning, Jono. How the devil are you, pal? Chris. Morning, Jamie. It looked like we are after a few sites. Yes, it does. It certainly does. Morning, Aggie. How are you, Gray? Give us a twirl. I've just given you a twirl. Morning, Aggie. How are you? How's everyone enjoying the World Cup? Is everyone looking forward to the World Cup? I'm going to bring one of my reprobate co-hosts in today. Morning, Jono. How the devil are you, pal? So you're dressed for the party, aren't you, pal? You're ready for tomorrow, aren't you?
I am ready for tomorrow, yes.
Patrick, this one fits. Yes, this jacket fits. Unfortunately, a friend of mine gave me this, and yes, it is a little bit tight on me. Unfortunately, yes. I didn't quite get a choice in size. It was given to me, so I had to take it, unfortunately. But yes, thank you, Lee Geeson, for giving me that. Jono, before we get on to the World Cup, Reedy's just popped in. Let's get Reedy in. Hope he's dressed for the part today. And Reedy is, boring old Reedy. Boring old Reedy.
Hello.
There he is. He's there. He's there. Just before we go on about ready for Madison Masterclass, can he lift the World Cup for us? Another Fox winning the World Cup after Banks. We'll go on that one in a minute. But just one quick bit about the season so far. Jono, it's been 2 halves to the season, and you've been particularly vocal about the 2 halves. So you talk about the first half of the season, the first 7 games. We'll let Reedy talk about the second half of the season.
Can I talk about the second half?
All right then. You talk about the second half, and then Reedy, you talk about the first half. So Reedy, what was wrong with that first half of the season, do you think? The first 7 games, I have to say.
I think the majority of it was down to the defending kind of area. Obviously, it's a team performance and whatnot, and you can't just blame the whole defence alone, but it was just about the defensive area of the whole team, obviously tracking back and doing all that. And I felt like it was pretty much an instant change when the set-piece coach came in. Obviously, we knew we had to bring someone in from last season because we conceded half the goals last season to set-pieces, so it was pretty poor. So when he came in, obviously, other than the Spurs game, which obviously it was his first game, so you couldn't really say anything other than that, it looks like it's been a complete changeover, and maybe it's even helped the defensive side, obviously, as well as set pieces. That's kind of what's changed. But yeah, there was just players that even I said that shouldn't be in the team that we kept playing, the likes of Ward and that lot. It just wasn't working, was it? As much as the performances were there, obviously we were 2-0 up against Brentford. We had 1-0 up against Southampton. We should be beating Chelsea in the position we were in. even with Chelsea having a red card, we should be winning there. There was so many games where you probably would have thought we'd win the game, but then we just lose it out of nowhere. It's too many times, and that's what's cost us. And we just got
The morning council, like the council has said, Fofana fiasco was to blame as well. Do you agree with that? Because I certainly think that was to blame as well. Uncertainty about what's happening.
Definitely the situation with the Fofana deal. Obviously, I've always said that the window should not be open throughout the season, because it just makes things a lot more harder than it is for certain players in certain teams. It just, like I say, if Fofana was there, or maybe even if FaZe was there instead of him, and we didn't have this sort of issue, we could have won more games. You don't know, but it was just a load of different things going on that really just got a bit too many issues going on, and then it obviously just got a bit too much for everything. So I think, I don't know, like, it wasn't just Rodgers' fault, it wasn't just the players' fault, it was a mix between everything really. And I'm just glad now that we're going to talk about the second part of the season where it's been a lot better. So yeah.
Jono from London has just said, I think the final show is a massive distraction. Brendan has turned back to old Brendan. FaZe equals Fofana. Do you think that's right? Has Brendan turned the clock back on himself and become the old Brendan in your mind?
I think he couldn't be. I think he doesn't want to be the old Brendan, but I just think he has to, because it was so close to being. I don't think it was far away from being sacked. If we continued that sort of mentality the next 2 or 3 weeks, it would have been sacked. But
I think the victory against Reedy's team, the Forest, the 4-0 one, I think that was. I
think really was.
I think that would have been a huge.
Yeah, if we lost that game, I think he would have gone. But what a massive win! Do we lose the next game after that, or do we draw it? I can't remember.
We lost to Bournemouth.
But I think after that Forest win, it kind of gave us a bit of like hope, because that lifted us above Forest, I think. But then after that Bournemouth game, I don't know what's happened, but we've just been from the last 7 or 6 games, with the third best team. If the season started after the 7th game, we'd be third in the table. We've been on form. We've been defending well. FaZe has been a massive, addition to the team. Brendan's made changes. The set piece coach has made changes. Madison being in form's helped. Tielemans being in form's helped.
Tielemans just moving to Reedy, because he goes to the games more than we do, Jono. Tielemans with the armband, he's made a huge difference since he's got the armband, hasn't he?
Oh, definitely. I think like that is one of the big differences in the side. Obviously, my opinion on Evans. I'm not going to keep going on about it, but putting someone in like Turi Tielemans, who hasn't been in the best of form the first, or even that, but near the end of last season, he wasn't in the best of form. And since you've been giving him the captain's armband, he's literally been a different player, and you can't fault it. And even with little things you see, I don't know if you saw the Christmas video at the Superstore that was done, literally just how kind of positive he looks, instead of just being a bit miserable because he's about to go to a different team in the end of the season. I don't think he will at this rate. He's looking like a totally different player.
Well, there is a rumour, Jono, that Leicester are confident of signing a new contract, of him signing a new contract. That's the rumour going around. Whether that is, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But do you think that's part of the equation, or do you think Tielemans has gone, Jono? Do you think he's like adios? He said it already.
I think he's gone. Personally, I think he wants to continue his Champions League football. But, I think Top might want to offer him more money. I think it's true that we've reopened talk. I think during the beginning of the season, I think talks has closed. I think he was like, I want to go. But I think talks have reopened with him and Leicester City. And I think it's good that the only thing about this World Cup is it's giving players a chance to go off and do their own thing with their countries, and then come back with a fresh start to the league.
The only thing I don't like, I know you don't like the World Cup being in this situation in December and that. I don't like it. Our players, I know there's only 7 of them, are going and they're with other players from other clubs, like Madison, talking to the Newcastle players or the Man U players or
Man City.
talking to the Man City, oh, how much are you on and what do you get and stuff like that, and any Barcelona and stuff. That's the only reason I'm unsure about how this will go for us, to be honest, pal.
Well, it happens every time, players just go. But if you look at what's happened, not many players who've left Leicester have had a successful career. Like Mahrez is one example that has gone well. He's left Leicester and won multiple titles and everything like that. Drinkwater's gone off to Chelsea, did nothing. Fofana's gone to Chelsea. He's been injured ever since. Chilwell's been injured ever since. It's not. Maguire's been awful at Manchester United. There's not many players that have left Leicester and had a successful career. So if you look at Vardy, he's stuck at Leicester. He's won a Premier League and the FA Cup ever since then. So I think you've got to choose. Like, would you rather have the money or have a team that fights together and works through it all?
There's also a rumour, Reedy, that one, that he's going to sign a new contract. Two, the other rumour is that there's 3 teams in red that want him.
Okay. Arsenal, Man U, and
I can't work out who the third one is, Reedy. Can you? Well, unless he's going
to Liverpool.
Could be. Yeah, but it didn't say Premiership. It just said 3 teams in red, Reedy. Could you see him going to any of them 3 clubs? Do you think he'll make a fit in there, Reedy?
He definitely would, but I don't know if, as much as I think he's probably deservedly a starter player, I don't think if he goes to any of them teams, he'd be a starter in every single game. I feel like it's going to be like an Amara situation where he will go, as much as he's a good player, I just don't think he'll get every game starting, if you know what I mean. I don't think he will.
No? They think because like Chilwell, he took time. I know he got injured in that, Reedy, but he took time, didn't he? Kante's probably about I know he was only here for a year, but he was the only one that really left us and cemented a place in another team. All the others have not done very well. Jason, I don't think he's going to go. Too many players there.
The amount given to Lingard, I wouldn't be surprised.
Jono's gone with Forest transfer window. The third is probably them. They want to sign everyone, and they do, don't they? There ain't an awful lot to talk. I mean, Fez, Weedy, you've seen him. I've seen him once. And that was only against Newport. But the way he read the game, he was like watching everything, and you could see him pointing and telling people where to go. A bit like what Johnny Evans did with Soyuncu. And do you think if he has a decent World Cup and a decent next half of the season, that might be his time up at Leicester? Or are big teams going to come calling for him?
I think it's too soon. Even if he does, even if he's probably our player of the season and all that, I don't think he'll go that quick. We've come through a defender that's no one really heard of. Obviously, some people might have done it, but no one's really heard of this Phase guy. He's came in Belgium side, and he's looking like just another brilliant defender we brought in. And as much as people say we don't need Fofana, we brought Phase in, I don't think you can compare them just yet. But we've already seen the amount of work he's done to keep goals out. Like what? With 6 or 7 clean sheets. I'm not too sure how many we've got now since he's been in, but it's just ridiculous.
22 goals in the first 7 games, which was the worst ever Premiership start after 7 games. And now we've conceded 6 clean sheets out of 8. We only conceded against Bournemouth and against Man City.
I did say, and this is obviously a big if because of between the obviously World Cup, there's the momentum might drop and we might not have the same kind of mentality going into the second half of the season. But I honestly, every time I go to a game now, I just feel like we're not going to concede. I don't know why. As much obviously we know why because the stats are there in the last 7 games, but it just feels like I feel like I can be positive to know that we're not going to concede. Whereas start of the season, I predict 5 goals we concede. So.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. The first 6-7 games, I was like, oh, God, I'm dreading watching it. I'm absolutely dreading watching it. But then the last 8 games, I've been wanting to watch it. And last week, I flew back last week, and it was on the Saturday, and I knew I would get back at 5 at land at 4:45 here. No, sorry, 4:45 here. So I thought if I get back, I'll get back for half time. And I was really disappointed that I missed it. But then a few weeks previously, when I was still at work, I was thinking, I'm not really bothered if I miss it now. So I wasn't, I'm losing interest in it. But now we've started to do well. I'm dreading missing any game whatsoever. And John,
even the Man City game, that as much
we're
as
never out of
know,
that.
as much as we know that they are probably one of the best teams in the world, at half time I was like, do you know what? We could actually get something here. Because 0-0, we literally stopped every attack they had. Obviously, Harler was not there and all that, but we stopped them, and the only thing that cost us was a free kick. So
yeah. Well, I'm just coming on to that, Craig, in a minute, Mr. Six Sitter. We're just going to start talking about the World Cup in a few minutes. If anyone's interested in the World Cup, Reedy, last question about Leicester. Are you going to Milton Keynes, pal?
I am.
6,500. That's about a quarter of the ground, isn't it? If I remember rightly.
No idea, but I'm going.
I think it's about 25,000 they hold, 26,000. Do you think we'll sell out?
We should do, yeah. And then there's no. Oh, well, there shouldn't be any. So maybe they should be selling out.
I mean, because how far is? I can't remember how far Milton Keynes.
It's about an hour.
Is that all? Is it that close?
About an hour and
it's
10.
It's the other side of Northampton, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Right, so I won't be going because I'm stuck here, unfortunately. Jono, it's a bit too far for you to go in it, pal.
I'm checking how far it is for me now.
From you?
Yeah.
Right, on that note, while Jono's just checking about that, we are now going to talk about...
I'm not going.
How far is it from you?
4.5 hour drive.
I'd leave that one then, Jono. A 9 hour there and back trip just for an hour and a half football. No, I wouldn't bother if I was you. Right, we're now going to talk about Reedy's favourite subject, the World Cup, Qatar 2022. And
why is it my favourite topic?
Well, because you're not dressed up for it here. We're dressed up for the part and you've just gone bland and boring.
Corruption.
Is Harry Kane going to do the same as what Bobby Moore did in 1966? What do you think the chances are to that, lads?
I hope it's not Harry Kane.
Well, he's the captain, though, isn't he, Reedy? So,
I can't stand him. Don't like him.
Wow. It was actually about 8 years ago. He was on the bench, weren't he? With him, Vardy, Drinkwater, and Konchesky were all on the bench.
We've won more trophies than Kane.
We definitely have. Jono, I did a 14-hour trip to Bournemouth, so 4 hours is nothing.
I do it every week, mate.
Zero chance of I think Annie Meadows is saying zero chance of me of Kane winning, England winning. Come on, you've got to have confidence, Macca. Not Macca, Andy. With 6,000 odd tickets, I think everyone will be going to MK. Yes. Dave Hill says no. Kane is shy. Yes, I'm not the best. I'm not the best Kane fan. I never have been.
I'd rather see Callum Wilson.
Just on one point, what do you think the standard of referees is going to be like? Good. Do you think so?
The Euros was a good start to it. I think was that when it first came in.
Well, if you look at AFCON, not African Cup of Nations, if the referees were there here, it'd be awful. Like he stopped the game 4 minutes before the end of.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we could have really good referees or really rubbish referees. To be honest, I think a lot of Premier League referees will come to Qatar. To be honest.
Well, no, I think there's only like 3 or 2 from each country, maybe 3 from each country. I think it is that taking part in it.
So
I'm guessing we're going to go through like our preferred lineup for the England squad. I'm guessing or not.
No.
Okay.
I'm not going that deep into it.
It's fine. I just didn't know because a lot of people are putting Mount in front of Maddison at the moment, which is just
well, we're going to talk about Maddison in a minute. But I brought up referees just for one reason and one reason only. I think Reedy knows what I'm going to say here. I made a joke about referees a couple of weeks ago, and I've been told that I've got to apologise to Adi Bramley about a joke I made about referees and how we all hate referees. And I think a lot of us agree with me that we all do hate referees because they're under a lot of pressure and they make a lot of mistakes. It's not my intention to offend people. I'm just like making jokes and making people laugh with the banter. So I'm sorry, Adi, if I offended you. But on the other hand, if you don't like any of my jokes that I make, turn off and don't watch. If you can't get the jokes, then turn off and watch. That's all I'm asking. But I apologise I upset you. That's it. So I've been told to do that, so I thought I'd get that out of the way as soon as possible while I was talking about referees. On a lighter note, Jono, what do you think about Qatar 2022 this year?
I'm not getting it. I'm told not to go into why I hate it so much. But let's just say there's a few countries which shouldn't be in the World Cup, and it should not be anywhere near Christmas. It shouldn't be anywhere near the middle of the season. It shouldn't be in a desert where I've seen players training after 5 minutes. They have to go in front of the air conditioning, bottles of water, trying to stay cool. But hey ho, so that's where it is. It's a competition based on money, so we'll just see how it goes.
There's a bit of news that I didn't hear. If we play France in the last 16, it's been announced that Benzema is out of the World Cup. That's a huge blow for France, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that. They have still got Mbappe and
Still a huge blow. How old Benzema? About 35, 6, is he? 34,
Probably.
35. He's still banging in goals left, right and centre. Is VAR at the World Cup this year, lads? Because I don't know. Mr. Six.
I think it is. It must be.
It should be, yeah. It shouldn't. Like, there's no reason why they wouldn't be.
No, I don't think. I'm sure it is Mr. Six Hitter. And also, as well, Craig asked as well, any more reports on Madder's injury? Reedy, have you heard anything about it? Because they're saying today's the day where they can only make, before the first game starts, where they can call up replacements. I haven't heard anything yet. Have you, Reedy?
No. Didn't know he got injured.
Well, he's missed training, hasn't he? He hasn't been in training for 2 or 3 days.
I didn't know that.
Because of his knee.
Did not know that.
Didn't you? Where you been? Living under a rock then, Reedy?
Yeah, I've been away from my social media, so.
Oh, have you? Oh, right. Josh, over in Australia. I like it being at this time of year. Finally a World Cup in my summer for a change. Yeah, it's normally in your winter, isn't it? Australia are not in it though, are they, Josh? So who are you supporting?
Yeah, they are in it. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, Josh, split loyalties, Australia or England? You let me know, Josh.
Well, to be honest, mate, Australia will be out in the first group after 3 games, so might as well go for England.
Well, Josh is from Leicester anyway, Jono, so he moved over there. But hey, well done, Josh. Well done, Josh. He's always English, no matter what. Just one thing. Morning, Mark. How are you? How was your weekend away last weekend? Madders won't be risked against Iran. Should be okay for the next 2. Not that he'll be selected. Do you think Madders will get any game time, lads, at the World Cup?
He should. He should.
I think he should, but the back of my mind, I don't know if I'm being selfish or not. I kind of don't want him to play because I want him to stay fit. I don't know if that's me being selfish. I'd love to see him play for England and be there, but the back of my mind, I'm thinking if he doesn't play, he's being rested for when the season starts again. That's just me.
Yeah. Just while we're talking about the World Cup, before we go, I want everyone's who's going to win the World Cup. That's what I want you to know. Who is going to win the World Cup? So all of you watching, who is going to win the World Cup? Simple
Argentina.
as that.
Argentina.
You know what? I said that, but they haven't won it for, I don't know how many years. Messi hasn't been anywhere near it.
They're going to win. They've got an amazing team. Messi's last World Cup, definitely Argentina.
Messi's meh anyway.
You are?
Messi's meh. It's all about Ronaldo, mate.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Dave Hill's gone for Belgium. Craig's gone for Brazil. Andy Medhurst has gone for Brazil. Tom's gone for Brazil. Jono's gone for France.
I'm going Germany.
Josh has gone for Belgium because he wants England to win. So come on then, lads. Who are you thinking? Who do you want to win the World Cup, and who do you think is going to win the World Cup?
I want England.
I want Belgium to win the World Cup.
Nick Moore's gone for Brazil. Anthony's gone for Holland. Oh, I'm not sure. Holland, they haven't really done a lot over the last few years, have they? But an outside bet. My last outside bet was Turkey in the Euros, and they got knocked out in the first. Didn't get through the knockout stages.
Well, I think we'll win it. I'm going to go Germany.
Dave Hill has gone for LCFC Belgium. Well, it is, isn't it? 3.
Yeah,
John, who are you going for?
3.
That didn't go.
I want England to win, but I think Argentina or Brazil will win.
I think Germany will win.
Oh no, Reedy. No.
Imagine that'd be amazing. Argentina and Brazil final. That'd be amazing.
You know what?
I'll be
Germany
in
do?
0-0.
They'll be putting all the towels on the chairs before the game. They'll start now, putting all the towels over the final chairs.
Oh, it's fine.
Nick Moore's gone for if England don't win, then Belgium. Yeah, I would like to see Belgium win, to be honest. But if you think about it, lads, England got to the semi-finals of the last World Cup. Then they got to the finals of the Euros. Is it our time? Is it our time?
Not a Gareth Southgate in charge. No chance.
Well, that's why I was talking about the obviously we won't get into the lineups, but if we play a five at the back like we have been previously, then we've got no chance because that means half the players that won't get in.
No, we're not going to win with Gareth Southgate.
Andrew said, "Get Madders playing, and we'll do this." England are more than one team, but I understand. I think Madders will be sub most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah. He'll come on for the last 15, 20 minutes.
And do worldies.
Yeah, just to try and break something down. If it's 0-0 or a tight game, he'll need something for 15, 20 minutes. And I think he will.
It would be.
It was the main man. Southgate was the man, wasn't he? A few years ago when we got to the Euros and the World Cup semi-finals.
I'm sorry, but we got given like the easiest route through. So I'm sorry. That is
you
not.
can only beat whoever's in front of you, pal.
No, I do know that, but the like I put a prediction through of like the whole kind of tournament, and if we get to, I think we get to like the semi-final, we'll have to play France, and I'm sorry, but we're not beating them.
Well, I think you don't know, do you? You don't know.
You obviously don't know, yes, but like I say, I think that compared to this year, the 2 years ago, it was a lot easier sides that we should be beating anyway. So, and the only team we had that was probably a bit of a hard one was Germany before obviously the final. So, yeah. So we're not. So all of us are not giving England any hope whatsoever of winning the World Cup, then, lads. We obviously want them to.
I think
Reedy's flip-flopping again now. He's not 100% sure.
I mean, England might do in England and just England's like Marmite. But we either play really well or we're the worst team on earth. We're not in the middle. We're either really, really good or really, really poor.
Really poor, then. It's Marmite.
Yeah, definitely Marmite, isn't it? Dara says, I hope Maddison gets some time. It'd be great if he does get some time.
I do. I hope he does. I don't think he will, though. I think he'll either be injured or Gareth won't play.
I think Maddison to get a top goal scorer for England's like 25-1, I think. So,
Mick, are you talking about England or are you talking about Leicester there, to be honest?
That's not Leicester for the last 7 games. That's not been Leicester.
Not really. Mr. Six Hitter says, Southgate too negative. Will flatter to deceive as usual. Fail just short. We'll literally grasp defeat from the jaws of victory like we normally do, don't we? Yeah. We've got more chance of winning it than Jono walking to MK Dons. But
Mate, I'd rather go on a space hopper to MK Dons.
But right then, lads, it's short and sweet because there's not a lot of Leicester news this week. But we just hope the lads do well, don't they? Because there's quite a few. I mean, there's 7 altogether, isn't there? We've got Danny Ward with Wales, haven't we?
Yeah. So I hope he does well.
Will he start or will he be?
He should be the starter now.
The form he's been in, he has to start.
Yeah. We've got Wout Fez. Well, he's only had 1 cap for Belgium so far, isn't he? Do you think he'll get much game time?
No.
Maybe. You never know.
Then you've got Yuri. Yuri's back. He normally starts, does it? Although he didn't start in the friendly the other day, did he?
He might be resting him for their first game, but Kevin De Bruyne will start for Belgium, 1,000,000%. I don't know who other.
Belgium lost to Egypt, didn't they? Belgium lost to Egypt.
2-1, yeah.
2-1. You've got Amati with Ghana. He'll play every game, won't he?
He'll start, yeah.
He'll start every single game. Unfortunately, this greedy sod decided not to move to Fulham, so he didn't get a chance to go, did
he? No.
Reedy's favourite player. Pratt didn't go because of game time as well, unfortunately. I thought he might have got a bit more game time, but unfortunately, he was left out of the squad. Castagna.
He'll start.
He'll start quite regular, won't he? He'll start quite regular.
He's too good.
Of course, we've talked about Madders, and I think that's it, isn't it? There's no one else.
Magic Mendy, isn't there?
Oh, yes. Magic Mendy.
Good
Magic
start.
Mendy of Senegal, the AFCON winner. He won it with Senegal, didn't he? I'd love an African side to win it this year.
They won't.
About time.
I'd like
They-
anything other than a European side to win it if we don't win it. Just because it's a
Why?
bit of different. I don't know, just like when it's not the Euros, I prefer someone who's not in the Euro sort of side to show that they deserve to win it, if you know what I mean. It's a bit weird, but
The only African team that could win it is probably Ghana. I don't know.
Ghana.
I just think if Ghana or Senegal gets to the final, at least we'll have a Leicester player in the final. Last question before we go. This is quite actually. I should have asked this. Do you think it's a bad time to stop the season at a
Yes.
positive? Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. Million percent.
Yes, it is, but we could. It depends how we come back. How we come back after it.
Yeah.
We have got, however, Vardy's not playing international. He's resting. We've got who else is resting? Evans is resting.
Oh, brilliant! Thank God for that.
Really,
Wow.
we need. I don't want him to start, but we need backup.
Vardy's warming, getting what you call it, time off. Yeah, brilliant. He's not going to score.
Yeah, they've all
more.
gone away this week, haven't they? They've had a week off. I've seen Dewsbury Hall and Luke Thomas are in
And
California.
America. Yeah.
But
playing.
anyway, I'm going to shoot.
Yes. All right then. Well, so am I. So, cheers, Jono, for joining us. Thanks a lot. You're England ready, like I'm England ready.
I'm
And really
ready.
is not England ready, really, is he?
Yeah, I am.
What's that say then?
Adidas.
Says Leicester.
It says Adidas. It doesn't say Leicester.
Says Leicester.
It doesn't.
Right.
We've got eyes.
See you later. I wish you need your eyes for your driving instructor job, don't you, Jono? You've got to have good eyes.
Yes.
We'll see you later, Jono. Thanks a lot, pal. Be good. Oh, there he's gone. He's gone. Really, pal. So, have you got the day off tomorrow to go watch football, or are you watching it in the office?
Probably watching it in the office. It's fine.
It's 1 o'clock, isn't it? 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Come join us if you want, mate.
Come and join. How can I join you? A bit late now to get over
Yeah,
there.
fly
now,
down.
you're
It's
all right.
fine.
What do I know? All I know about is pressing the button how to turn the computer on, and that's about it.
Sure, you don't even know how to do that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right then, pal. We shall
See
speak
ya.
to you later, mate. Be
See you
good.
in a bit.
Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Nick Moore says, I'm listening to it while I'm out delivering the post. I'll be out having a few beers. Right, it's another Sunday show after. I know it's a bit, there's not a lot of Leicester stuff to say, but we got there in the end. Talked a bit about the season, talked a bit about the World Cup. That's about it. So it's ciao, ciao, adios, goodbye, top of the morning to you, and we shall see you next week. Come on, England!
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.